Jacksonville, 911, Archibald.
Yeah, someone reported a car stolen. It's a 95 Honda Civic.
Do you know who stole it?
No, I don't. It's a 95 Honda Civic, and somebody just took off.
Okay, hold on 1 second. Let me just check and make sure it wasn't towed or anything, all right?
It couldn't have been towed, not that quick. And my kid is in the back, still in the back of the car. My kid is in the back of the car.
On July 24th of 2015, the Jacksonville Police Department received a call from a man whose car had been stolen. Oh yeah, and so was his child. This is what it's like to interrogate a psychopath. Hello friend, and welcome back to High Time Crime. My name's Joel, and on here I specialize in true crime and also water skiing. I'm pretty much a professional. But today, we're looking at the case of Lonzie Barton, who was a toddler that went missing. We're specifically going to analyze the interrogation footage from his mother, Lana Barton, and you're going to learn a lot. Our story takes us to Jacksonville, Florida, and as of 2020, it has a population of around 903,000 people. It's the most populated city in Florida and the largest city by area in the contiguous United States. If you ever find yourself in the area, well, you're in luck because there's a ton of things to do. You could go to the Jacksonville Zoo and Gardens and see an African lion, or you could even see a black and white ruffed lemur. You could go to the Little Talbot Island State Park and enjoy a day by the water, or you could even get scammed for $1,500, like me when I went to Jacksonville that one time. Screw you, Kurt. But that is not why we're there today. Lonzie Barton was a 1.5-year-old boy that was born to Lana Larimore Barton, and who his father is, well, that's unknown. The man who's supposed to be his father is named Christopher Aaron Barton, but DNA evidence ended up proving that not to be the case. A guy named Ransom Barefoot claimed to be Lonzie's father as well, and he actually ended up doing an interview with First Coast News. What an interesting name. Ransom Barefoot. But Lana Barton was 25 years old during this period of time, and she and Chris didn't end up working out, and so they went their separate ways, but were still married. She was working at the Wackos Gentlemen's Club in Jacksonville, and she would soon start dating a 32-year-old man named William Reuben Ebron Jr. Reuben, as he liked to go by, was your not-so-friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. He sold drugs. Lana also had a daughter named Lily, who was 5 at the time, and she's just an innocent child. Lana and Reuben were very into doing drugs, selling them, and also being super careless. They had both been arrested with prior charges, and also they just got evicted from Lana's apartment. On July 24th of 2015, at 2:22 in the morning, Reuben made a 911 call to the police to tell them that his car was missing and that Lonzie was in the back seat.
Jacksonville, 911, Archibald.
Yeah, someone reported a car stolen. It's a 95 Honda Civic.
Do you know who stole it?
No, I don't. It's a 95 Honda Civic, and somebody just took off.
Okay, hold on 1 second. Let me just check and make sure it wasn't towed or anything, all right?
It couldn't have been towed, not that quick. And my kid is in the back, still in the back of the car. My kid is in the back of the car.
Okay. What color is it?
It's a bright orange. You can't miss it. 95 Honda Civic.
Which way did it go?
I just seen it. I tried to run towards the street, but it looked like it went left, but I couldn't tell, man. By the time I got from the back of the neighborhood, I think I had already.
Okay. Okay. Which way was the last scene going?
It looked like it was going left towards University.
Okay. Is your kid?
What's that?
Your kid is in the back seat, right?
Yes, in the back seat.
Can you describe the suspects?
I did not see. I went inside real quick, put on a movie, and by the time I came out, the car was gone.
Within 15 minutes of this call, the car was located less than a mile away with no one inside, and then at 6:20 in the morning, an Amber Alert was issued. About 18 hours later, Reuben was arrested on 2 child neglect charges. Lana and Reuben were both then interrogated together and separately. There's several hours of interrogation footage, but today we're going to specifically watch the last interrogation that was done on July 29th. This only involves Lana, and you're going to watch what it looks like to be a psychopath. Before the interrogation starts, at this period of time, Lonzy was still considered missing. You're going to notice a very calm demeanor emanating from Lana, and think about it for a second. It's been 5 days since your baby boy went missing. Do you really think you'd be as cool as an iceberg? The interrogators are going to start showing her a few photographs and then confront her and ask her what happened.
I want to show you a couple photographs, and we also want to go over some things with you. You all right with that? Yeah. Okay. Let me ask you real quick, are you under the influence today or anything like that?
No.
Any weed, anything other than prescription medication?
Not even that.
Okay, and so you're perfectly coherent?
Yes, I'm very.
So you're aware of what's going on, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
This may not be something you recognize.
These could be or could not be anything.
But only you can tell us that. Right. I mean, he does have a green shirt. Was it in the laundry? Yes or no?
Was that the one that's used in his pictures on the news and stuff like that?
No, that shirt was yellow.
Okay. I'll check on that, but does that look like anything relative to this?
That looks like. I mean, he has a green shirt. That's it.
Okay.
My son has a green shirt. So.
And that's what I want, is I want fair responses like that. Okay. Sorry. Do you recognize that? What is that? How sure are you?
I'm pretty sure we have a blanket like that.
And what's the characters on that blanket?
It's Cars, the movie Cars.
Okay. So like Terminator and On the Moon Trainers. Okay. So he has a blanket. If that's not it, it's almost exactly like that, right? Or you're saying it's
it's
same pattern and everything.
Yeah.
Okay.
When was the last time you saw the blanket? Honestly, last time I saw it was it could have gotten took out the storage. I believe it was in the storage, unless he got it out and washed it.
Okay. Now, I've been straight with you. Have I not?
Yes, sir,
even when I've been hard on my question, I've been straight.
Yes, sir.
I've been fair with my questions. We need to clear some things up.
Okay, well, let's get to clearing.
All right. First of all, I want to go over your timeline. Okay, I want to start with when you got up Thursday.
Okay.
All right, what time do you remember Thursday? This is July 23rd on a Thursday. No, go ahead.
I remember we slept in for a while, got up.
When you say we, make sure you say names and stay.
Me and Ruben and the kids.
Okay. When you mean slept in?
I mean, like, just laid around and watched movies. We didn't go nowhere or nothing like that.
Throughout the next several minutes, you hear Lana talk about a lot of people, except for Lonzy. He's mentioned subtly, but not by name, and overall, there's no concern about him. The detectives at this point are basically just letting her talk and asking questions that don't seem like they matter, but they do. They're building a rapport with Lana, asking what would be considered minor details to get her to open up.
How'd you get to the store? I don't think I got this. How did you get to the store when you bought the Alfredo?
I drove to the car.
The car being?
Mine and Ruben's car.
The orange car?
Yes, the orange car. Sorry.
We're walking her through it.
I'm sorry.
That's all right. I know you've been through this a million times.
Well, I just assumed that she knew what car I was talking about.
When you went to that store, who was with you?
By myself.
No kids, nothing?
No, I left them with Ruben.
Okay.
That's a Honda, right? Yes, Civic. 2-door.
Is that an automatic or
It's an automatic.
Has that got like power locks on it or anything?
It does. Yeah, that's what we use the key for. It's just to unlock it, not to crank it.
Is it like a button that you push to lock them up?
Inside. Well, actually, you have to pull the handle on the driver's side and press the button down, and then it locks both doors.
And how do you get out of the door? If it's locked, it'll unlock it as you're pulling it, or?
Yeah, as long as you're from the inside, most of the time. The kind of
most
doors.
Of the time, I mean, does it? If the lock button's down, or what if it's got one of those switches on the handle, or right here?
It's a little silver one right here. And sometimes when you press it, you have to press it a couple times. It's messed up, is why I say most of the time. If you pull it, sometimes it'll flip back and it'll let you out on your own like it's supposed to.
Does it ever stick?
What was it?
Does the lock ever stick if you're inside, or you have to play with it?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, most of the time it'll open up like you're supposed to when you go to get out. It'll unlock itself for you, but a lot of times it don't. So you have to sit there and pull the handle and jiggle like the little.
How's the door though? Does it open pretty easy once it opens?
Mm-hmm.
You ever done that herself? Honestly.
No, I don't think that she has. I've never seen. I mean, I know she knows how because I've told her, unlock the door.
But just, I appreciate that, but just, that's pretty important to me.
Yeah.
You've never seen her unlock that door herself and get out.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. She knows how. Yes.
Oh well, have you seen her do it, or you just know she can do it?
I've seen her do it.
Okay. I thought you said never seen it before. That's why I went back up.
Well, what I meant was I've never don't leave her in the car and tell her to. But she did lock me out of it the other day, and then I had to make her unlock it and let me in. So. Well,
now remember when we was talking with Ruben, he said that y'all commonly left the kids in the car because the car would run.
No, I don't commonly leave. No, I left the car running, not with my children in it. No.
Good.
I haven't never left my children in the car with them.
Man, I sure hope that. I'm glad you told me that.
No, I have locked it. It's hard to crank up something.
Yeah, so you've never seen him do that?
No.
The interrogators then ask about what happened after Lana left work and how she found out her son was missing. Notice the language that she uses and how much she distances herself from the situation. She constantly uses the word kid to not make it personal. She then talks about how she was going to collect money, and then an officer pulled up and blocked her in and started asking her questions about the missing car and child.
Now, is Christina with you?
Yeah.
She's in the car, though, right?
Yeah, she's in the car.
And you get out?
Yes, I got out with Christina in the car.
Unless I'm wrong, I don't want to put words in your mouth.
But does she know you were there to collect money?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so where you go from there?
Officer pulls up and
inside of Pinebrook, or
blocks us in basically.
Like you're walking to the car, if I remember right, and he pulls up.
Yeah. And he asked us if we had seen the orange Civic. We told him no. He reported us that there was a kid missing.
And I want you to slow down. He asked you if you had seen an orange Civic, and you said no.
Right.
And there was a kid missing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what else?
And then we went to, at first I told him no, that I didn't really recognize that, and then I told him, yeah, that's my kid, I think that might be my kid, and we go, and he tells me to show him, that he would follow me to the apartment.
So he followed you, or
he followed us.
Right.
And then we're there at the apartment.
Followed Christina into the apartment complex. Okay.
Where do y'all park at?
I did correct myself after I told him that I didn't recognize that description, but then...
He gave you the name also.
Yeah.
You told him at first.
And then I told, but then I corrected myself with him and told him, I think that's my kid. And I live in Ravenwood.
And just because she wasn't here, and I don't want to put words in your mouth, tell Detective Simpson why you initially did that, because you wanted to...
I wanted to get there and find out what was going on for myself. I didn't know what was going on, or, it was just crazy sounding that my kid could be kidnapped in a car. I wanted to get there and see for myself firsthand what was going on before I spoke to him any further, or anybody. I didn't want to,
So the officer telling you this information is the first you're hearing it?
Yes.
So you're there to just collect the $20.
Yes.
And you get locked in.
Yeah, and he was looking for the orange Civic, and in the process of looking for the vehicle, he had blocked us in.
Okay, so you're basically lying to him because you want to find out if it's for real?
Yeah, basically.
Like you thought the officer was bullshitting you?
No, I didn't think the officer was bullshitting me. I just felt like, what the fuck is going on? Let me get home and find out what the hell's going on, and then I can answer anybody's questions that needs me to. But at that point in time, I just wanted to get there and, talk to Ruben too, and, ask him what the hell happened, what's going on.
So he followed you around Christina's car she drove around?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay, so you get back over to the apartment.
Straight to the apartments after that.
All right.
What kind of car does Christina have?
My maroon Altima, I think it is.
The interrogators are going to start ramping up the questions and the content behind them. Things are going to become a bit heavier here, as Lana will get caught in constant lies. She's talking about what happened when she got home for the first time to see Ruben after Lonzy went missing.
I'm going to give you the starting point with I'm sorry. I'm almost sure there's more that he told you besides I'm sorry.
No, he told me that he was sorry about everything happening like this, and I'm telling him what's happening, about
what's happening.
Yeah, what's happening.
What happened?
And yeah, so what happened? He just told me that that was so stupid. I'm sorry, for leaving the car running. At the house, he's still telling me that the car got took. He didn't know how he let this happen. He's sorry, and I have to know that he didn't mean for my baby to get took. That's what he's telling me. And that he loves me. And he told me that he was sorry. That was stupid of him. He was telling me, but look at all the times we left the car running.
I remember him saying that, and you're telling me that didn't happen.
What?
He said, look at all the time. Now, he didn't. I remember what you're saying. He didn't just say, because he was trying to convince me we would always, because the car had a bad, it was hard to keep running or whatever. He said that y'all did that routinely with the kids. He didn't like it. He didn't like it. But that's what was done. Do you know that to be true or not true?
What, that he said that?
No, I know he said that, but I'm talking about, did he actually do it? I know what he's saying.
No,
but I want to know if he did
it. My kids in the car, and he don't either. We always take them out.
Okay, so when he said that
was a lie. We don't never leave them in there with the car running. We don't leave them in there at all. We get out the car and we take them with us.
So what does that mean he's doing?
Lying.
What do you think happened?
What do I think happened?
Right.
I think that he wasn't watching him well and something happened to him. And I think maybe he got a hold of something out of his drawer or off the dresser or out of the floor somewhere, or something, and maybe, accidentally overdosed or something like that, and he freaked out and he come up with something quick to, make it look like something else.
Who did your son go to before? Who was his doctor? His pediatrician?
Sarah Combs.
She go to anybody? She from the clinic? Mm-hmm. She
Sarah Canada.
Sarah Canada, right. Yeah. I went to school with her.
I was his pediatrician.
So she's like a PA, right? Mm-hmm. All right.
Now, does this sound like a mother who's worried about her missing child, or does this sound like someone who's talking about someone they don't care about? The interrogators are about to really start getting on Lana for lying.
Well, let's go back and think. Now, what other conversations did you have with Brittany at Wacko's? Think hard about this. Because we got your phone records. Mm-hmm. Come on. You're holding out a little bit.
What, about the Roxy's?
This is when you asked her for the ride.
Oh, a dub?
No. When you asked Brittany for the ride.
The money?
When you asked Brittany for the ride, and this is after you already got the money from her at work.
Yeah.
When you asked her for the ride, you also told her.
Oh, when I called? What did I tell her?
I want you to tell me that, because there's more. You told her more than, hey, I need a ride.
No, I told her I don't know what's going on. Ruben's not here yet. Then I don't remember, because that's it.
Let me refresh your memory.
Because I don't remember telling her anything.
Now, you told her.
I needed a ride.
You told her that Ruben had told you that the car had gotten stolen. You told her that.
No.
Now, hold on. Listen. Look at me. I'm not asking you that. You told her that. Okay? You told her that.
I was still at Wacko's?
When you told...
I didn't know that the car was stolen until I got
told her... Hold on. I'm just telling you because Brittany, who's a friend, Brittany's got no reason to lie about that.
You might want to call her again because, yes, sir. I didn't know that. And when I was at Wacko's, I didn't know that.
Let me ask you this. Why would Brittany lie?
Why would Brittany lie? Because Brittany was nervous as hell yesterday when I did see her. I seen her for a split second when we were all at the entrance of...
Let me ask you this. You think Brittany stole your child?
Do I think Brittany stole my child?
That's what I asked you.
No.
Okay.
But do I think that she would leave bits and pieces out? Yeah.
Hold on. Why? She's not leaving bits and pieces out. She's not the one leaving bits and pieces out. She's telling me more than you told me.
Well, no.
You're leaving bits and pieces out.
No, I'm not.
Now, hold on. Now, you have left bits and pieces out.
I have, but that I did not say to her. I did not tell her that. I told her that when I was at...
Brittany has hold on. Tell me why.
I didn't even know that the car was gone then. How am I supposed to tell her that when I didn't know?
Listen to me. When you start talking, that's whenever you start going on.
I'm sorry.
Past the question gets me worried.
I'm sorry.
Because this is a repeat of the other night. You did this and you were lying through your teeth.
I'm not lying to you.
Okay, well, Brittany's not lying. I can tell you that. Brittany has no dog in this hunt. You tell me why Brittany will lie on you, first of all. She's driving you to the store.
Maybe she got her times messed up from when I talked to her.
No. I'm telling you.
Listen.
Don't try and guess. I asked you a question. First of all, answer me this. Does Brittany have a reason to lie on you? Yes or no? And if you say yes, you tell me yes. You tell me the reason.
The interrogators are closing in at this point to go in for the final blow. They've got Lana backed into a corner full of lies that she cannot dispute, and they really start grilling her at this point.
Well, that's what I'm telling you. Brittany knows that because Brittany told us fresh out the chute because she didn't know what was going on. And she just said it by saying, yeah, she told me, she said, her old man told her that the car got stolen. She needed me to get her ride home. I told her I was somewhere else.
That is not what happened.
Where was she at?
Off of Atlantic.
Off of Atlantic.
Okay, but I still didn't.
And it was going to be a few minutes, right?
Hey, look, I can.
But I still didn't.
There's a text message that says it.
Yeah, that text message came from. I was already.
You sure about that?
Yeah.
The time suggests differently.
Yeah. And you know what? Listen. Here's the thing. Listen.
I don't remember telling her that. I really don't remember.
Well, just because you don't see, that's where I know you're wrong. Because if you didn't remember that, you wouldn't have jumped my shit for saying that. No, you know what? No, you jumped her shit by saying she's lying. She did that. She would just tell you bits and pieces. No, she's not. I'm telling you. See, if you don't remember it, and I bring that to you, that's probably true.
Okay. Well, I don't.
Listen. That's probably true. Okay, don't jump my shit and her shit because now you're saying you don't even remember. I'm telling you right now, there's a text message when you're at Wacko's that has this. Okay?
So that means you knew.
You told her.
Trying to say.
No.
Okay.
So you know that's true. I'm telling you right now, that's true. You better figure it out. Okay?
Okay.
Think for a minute.
I'm thinking. I really am thinking.
The text message is there because I know what time he called you. I know what time the 911 call was. I know where you're at. I know where he's at. I know about the stop. And what bothers me big time, hold on. What bothers me big time is you gotta look at me. I'm gonna stay calm as I can. This thing's getting done tonight. It is getting done tonight with you. You got knowledge that something happened. Don't
protect
do that.
him.
Please don't do that.
Don't protect this man. Don't go down with the ship.
One thing I can tell you, his phone recordings and everything like that help us, and it paints a picture when we finally get all these phone records back.
We hadn't been sitting on our ass for 4 days.
No,
you know that. You know that.
And here's the thing.
I know you guys haven't.
Here's the thing.
And
I don't care.
I'm trying
What you're trying to do? No, you're not.
No,
you're not. No, you're not. Listen. I'm going to try to say this as easy as I can. Okay. You are going to get your dumb ass in a lot of trouble over. I'm going to protect my man. I'm going to have my man's back. That's what you're telling people. I'm going to have my man's back. You can't listen. Who cares if you said it or not? But here's what I see about you. I see you. My child is missing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't give a rat's motherfucking ass who's got to go to jail. Somebody better go to jail. And you know what? Here's the thing. We haven't been sitting around for 4 days for nothing. So I can tell you what you've done when. Right now, what you don't understand is everybody you talk to comes and tells us.
Okay.
And everybody that you've been around comes and tells us.
Okay.
So to sit and tell people that you're going to have his back, it kind of makes me a little sick.
I didn't say I had his
No, you
back.
had his back when you came in here that night. We're hopefully past that.
Yeah, that's what
If you came in and sat down in his lap, did you come in and sit down with him?
I did.
Okay, well, here's the thing. I'm going to tell you something. I love this man to death, but if he hurts my child, I'm fucking going to wring his goddamn neck and kill him.
That's no accident. That's no accident. I can tell you this thing everybody knows, and even you're street smart enough to know that fucking stolen car is bullshit. We know that's bullshit.
I told you that.
I know. We know that's bullshit. We know that's bullshit.
I do.
And you know it's bullshit because there is more that you have to tell.
Let me ask you this: what are you doing at Super 8 Hotel?
What am I doing there? Staying there.
Where are your kids at?
Where are my kids at? They're with my mom. I mean, I'm staying at my mom's tonight. Why?
No, you're staying at Super 8 Hotel. Why?
The interrogators now take a very interesting approach. They start to become very angry and rather impatient. Also, you'll notice that when the interrogator asks Lana a question, she repeats it back to them. She's most likely doing this to prolong an answer because she's lying, and so she has to think of the answer right off the top. This will just give her a bit more time.
Hey, if it's not a good idea that she don't go to Super 8, guess who also should be going to Super 8?
Well, she can go there, but Miss Donna, my mom said that Donna said that she needs to be there.
I don't care who said what. If that's my child, I want to be with my child.
Your son is missing.
I know, and that's why I'm
your other one,
over
your
here.
other one,
trying to.
No, your other one should be with you. What are you doing tonight? Are you doing anything tonight?
Actually, I was on my way to the visual that was being held in McClenny, and then I was going back out to my mom's to spend.
And what else were you planning tonight?
That's it.
You sure?
Yeah, I'm
You
sure.
can't even tell the truth about that, can you?
What are you talking about? That is what I have planned for tonight.
Are you supposed to be working tonight?
No, I'm not working.
You sure about that?
I'm positive. 150% positive I'm not working.
Right.
I was going right back to my mom's after the visual. And that's where I was staying. You can call and ask her. That's where I was staying at tonight, was with them.
I was at the vigil.
The one in McClenny?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. When Miss Donna called me, she told me to come here. I told her I was on my way to it.
If you had gotten there, if you were...
No, I hadn't gotten there yet.
I know.
We were making the
You weren't going to make it on time.
Why wasn't I?
You wasn't. But,
I was on my way there before I came here. Yes, I was.
You wasn't going to make it. You wasn't going to make it.
Why wasn't I going to make it? I was making a poster and shirts.
Hold on. Do not get that attitude with
Well,
me
I'm
today.
sorry, but that was
Hold on.
offensive.
I'm telling you right now. Look.
That was offensive?
Let me tell you
Your
something.
baby's dead and that was offensive?
Let me tell you something, okay? This is done tonight.
I know that.
This is the tip of the iceberg.
I know.
For you. This is the tip of the iceberg for you. Where was that blanket at when you left?
At home.
Where? At home.
I don't know. I guess in
the
the
last
room.
time you saw that blanket?
In the room.
Right.
Okay.
It's closing in.
What?
You're going to find out where that blanket was.
Where?
No, I'm sorry. I don't even have to tell you that. We know who that blanket was with. But I don't think that you need to get on board. How was your son feeling the last couple of days? Or did he have any...
He was fussy. And
did he have any injuries or anything like that on him?
Bruises, maybe?
No, well, from right here, he had a little bit of a mark on his lip right here from where he was gnawing his lips, and that's why I know.
What about his eye or anything behind his ear?
No, he had a little bit of a bruise about that big right here behind his ear.
Where did that come from?
Where did that come from? I wasn't even sure, honestly. I wasn't sure where it come from, and I was going to have Sarah look at it Friday when I took him into the doctor's office.
So your son's got a bruise behind the ear. That's basically a skull fracture. Do you know that?
No, I didn't.
This right here is your basal skull bone.
Finally, you're going to see some real anger come from the interrogators. This isn't a typical approach, as it's not incredibly effective, because when you yell and scream at someone, they're most likely going to do it back to you, or they're going to back down and not give you any information at all.
Okay, hold on. Well, that's not one you take to the doctor. That's one you take to the hospital. Because your child starts acting fussy. Your child starts showing symptoms of head trauma.
Oh, and don't forget the throwing up.
Throwing up.
Yeah, he was sick. I was taking him to the doctor.
No, you wasn't taking him to the doctor. You were stripping.
Friday.
You were stripping.
I was supposed to be taking him Friday.
You know, that's not what you wait for. How did he hurt his head? How did you get told he hurt his head?
He said he didn't know how he hurt his head.
He didn't know he's got a black bruise behind his ear.
He said he didn't know how it got there. And I told him, well, I'll have it checked out.
Yes, that's my very next question. We're on the same page. How do you bruise the back of your ear?
Behind your where?
I don't know.
You're stupid.
I'm not stupid.
Oh,
I'm
you
being
are.
honest with you.
You're trying.
I come home and the bruise was already there. I asked him
When
where.
did you see it?
Like Tuesday or like Tuesday. I noticed it, and I asked him what it was from. I said, "How did this happen?" And he told me, "I don't."
And that was okay for you?
No, I told him I'll take him to the doctor.
Oh, really? I don't know how you just hurt my kid, but you can stay around and we can.
He said he didn't.
Get the out of here with that.
That's really wrong.
He didn't tell me that he did anything to him.
He didn't have to. Did you think the thing jumped out of the goddamn sky?
No, but my baby also is. I mean, he's a baby.
He's throwing up
behind his ear.
He enters his head.
No, but I didn't.
He unknowingly, out of the blue, has a head injury. That's a head injury, is it not?
Yeah.
Right here. I'm talking about right here.
Okay.
Okay. He's got a black and blue bruise behind his ear.
Okay, my mom was there Wednesday. She seen it too. She said take him to the doctor on Friday.
Your son's throwing up. Your son, at one point, not only threw up while he was throwing up, what else did he do at the same time? He
had
shit himself.
diarrhea.
Exactly.
Yeah, I figured he was sick. I was taking him to the doctor.
That's not something you wait for.
Okay,
You're
well,
not gonna,
maybe
hold
I
on,
messed
hold on.
up
And
there,
this is not your first child.
No, it's not. Like
It's
I
not
said,
your
maybe-
first child. If your kid starts throwing up and shitting, and you have an unknown injury, that's not what you schedule. You're not going to convince me of that. And I know, hold on, I know that all this is part of it. Okay? Your son wasn't happy. Your son wasn't wanting to eat. Your son wasn't wanting all this because when you have a basal skull fracture, you don't eat. You can't eat. You can't drink. You throw up. You can't have diarrhea.
Okay. Well,
Okay, so your son eating. Hold on. So when you say your son ate shrimp Alfredo,
he did take a few bites of it with me.
a
Yes, he
few
did.
bites.
He
How
did
many? A
it.
few bites. Did you just shove a spoon in his mouth?
No.
Okay. Well, he didn't eat.
Yeah, he
didn't
did.
eat. He didn't eat till he was full.
I told you he didn't eat till he was full. But
He's not eating. He's being forced to eat, and that's typical with the head injury.
Throughout the entire interrogation, Lana didn't mention Lonzy by name not one single time. She distanced herself from him as far as she could, and she clearly didn't feel any remorse. A few days later, video evidence was released to the public that proved that Ruben lied about the car getting stolen and Lonzy being in the back seat. You can see him first drive the car to where he dropped it off, and then he starts running home. Within a few months, Lana was sentenced to 5 years in prison after pleading guilty to 1 count of child neglect and lying to police. She was also given an additional 7 years for unrelated drug charges that were in a sting operation. Ruben was given 20 years after pleading guilty to aggravated manslaughter. He also took the police to the body of Lonzy. Ruben put him underneath a set of old tires in a random wooded area. Before Lonzy was brutally taken from this world, he was abused by those that were supposed to protect and nurture him. Ruben said that Lonzy drowned in the bathtub while him and Lana were in the bedroom, you know. Lonzy had bruises all over him, and when he was sick, his mother wouldn't even take him to the doctor. It's very cruel, and quite frankly, I believe they both deserve life in prison, but they got away with pretty light sentences. It's awful to see how a mother can treat her child, and I can't imagine being so void of a soul. Lonzy was a 1.5-year-old infant that never got to actually see the world. His life was just beginning. He was taken away for no reason at all, and then treated like a pile of dirt. I hope he's resting peacefully, and as for Tweedledee and Tweedledum, karma will definitely catch up to you both one day. But anyways, thank you for watching this episode of High Time Crime. If true crime is your thing, then please subscribe and hit the like button because that's all we do. I also have a second YouTube account with my brother named Horrorflying where we tell stories about everything paranormal. This includes true crime, mysteries, and things that are just downright spooky. I'd greatly appreciate if you subscribe to that too. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Take care, friend.